Wednesday, former Georgia Senator David Perdue was sworn in as U.S. ambassador to China. President Trump made remarks on the timing of the ceremony as trade talks between the two nations are set to kick off this weekend in Geneva, Switzerland. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer will meet with a high-level Chinese delegation in the first major talks between the nations since the trade war began. And as the trade war continues, many question what the outcome will be if China's willing to stop ripping off America and the rest of the world, frankly. Here with me to discuss this is Miami GOP Committeewoman and chair of the Capitol Hill Fight Club, Angie Wong. I thought we weren't supposed to talk about Fight Club, Angie, but there we go. Just putting it out there.
No words about the Fight Club, but I'm glad you brought it up in live TV.
Well, there it is. All right, so look, the word is out of mainland China, from a lot of people I know, factories are closed. People have been sent home, losing their jobs or at least being laid off. A lot of unrest. Look, President Xi spent a lot of time eliminating the competition around him over the last 10 years. But he didn't eliminate all of it, and he didn't eliminate the generals. And if there's this kind of discontent in China, it will not last long. They won't take it. And the fact of the matter is China needs to strike a deal to get those factories running again, to make sure that when we're importing into places like Los Angeles and Long Beach, those ships are full of shipping containers. Right now, they're not. I think China's found out we're tough to deal with, and they need to pony up. What do you think?
No, absolutely. And what we're seeing on the ground in China is that there are now protests everywhere from Sichuan to Mongolia because the factories have remained closed for several weeks now. The Minister of Interior in China has projected, and I think this is a very low estimate, of 40 million people out of work. Right now, the factories are closed, and that's going to trickle down all the way to supply chain, to communications, to marketing. So all these jobs are affected. Now, remember, the Chinese, they don't have social networks like we do. They don't have social security. So that one-child policy, that one child takes care of sometimes 4 parents, elderly parents, and that's their retirement. So for one kid to not be working right now, it means the entire family suffers. And what that's going to equate to in days, if not weeks to come, is going to be this social unrest. And that's why you're already seeing the brewings of protests on the streets to open these factories. A lot of these factory workers have not been paid, and they don't see any payday coming up. They don't know how to put food on their table. So you can see how they have to strike a deal. President Trump holding onto his hard line, that was the best negotiation ever.
All right, so we saw the UK come to the table today. At least that's what we're told. A few details be worked out, but the first one to step up and say, yes, we have a deal. It'll be 10% on either side of the line, which we can live with because you got to make a little bit of money to run the ports and different things that have to happen. Understand that no matter what direction things are going. Do you think we can get to a 10-10 tie with China when it comes to tariffs? Do you think we can do that with South Korea, Japan, the EU? The EU's, from what I understand, and, we see how long this will take, but the EU fairly close to saying we can make a deal here. What do you think? Can we get this done across the board?
I would love to see that. Now, the EU, I know that leaders there are holding chats with other world leaders, trying to see if they can circumvent it. I don't see any other way because Trump will continue the hard line. And every single day that passes, their cargo ships are sitting on the docks, not being shipped here. And all those goods may be wasted if they're perishable. So, one by one, these countries are folding. President Trump, all he's ever wanted was fair trade, no longer free trade. And I think we're going to get there by the summer.
Yeah, it's important that we get this done. Look, and you look at what's happening right now. The price of gasoline is down 3 cents since yesterday, a nickel since last week, 60 cents since a year ago. Inflation's at 2.4%. The unemployment rate steady at 4.2%, which is pretty close to full employment. The economy, the fundamentals are there. If Jerome Powell would play ball, and I'll let you fill in the blank there. If Jerome Powell would play ball and drop the interest rates as he should, mortgages and car loans would again be stimulated and he would be on the move. I think that we're in for a great economy here. I think we're going to get some more of these trade deals. I don't know how long it will take to work one out with China, but she has got to be feeling the pressure at this point. Donald Trump came to play. He meant it, and it looks like good things are going to happen. I'll give you the last word.
No, President Xi of China is definitely feeling how to play with Trump. He was definitely trying to line up over the years another basket of currencies and other trade deals and rare mineral deals. And he didn't have enough time to actually, well, sideswipe the US. And you have President Trump here, who is doing a great job making America first and making sure the Chinese can no longer take advantage of American workers and also of our consumership. So I think this is all going to come to an end by summer. China cannot survive without the US. We are 1/6 of their economy. So I think President Trump did a fantastic job holding out. I hope to see a trade deal soon.
I hope so too, Angie. It'd be good for America. It'd be good for the Chinese and for everybody else, by the way. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, up after the break, as we discussed earlier, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost has been elected the new Pope, marking the first time in history an American has been elevated to the position. Pope Leo the 14th. There he is. More about that straight ahead.